What is up, everyone? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come and hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing. And happy freedom. Moving a little slow today. I don't know if you guys seen that blueberry beverage video. It's delicious, but a little harmful. Thank you so much, Jeffro, for continuing the membership program. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Make sure everything's running, and then we'll get into what we're getting into today. What's up, T. Lawton? What's up, SPC? Happy freedom. What's up, Sleuthy TV? What's up, Matthew? What's up, Bitsy? What's up, Tim? What's up, Cheeky Chops? What is up, Robert? What's up, Jeffro? What's up, Mike Drop? What's up, Robert? The other Robert? What's up, Jay Gaming? What's up, Harley? What is up, you hooligans? Make sure you guys are racking up those likes. More likes, more hooligans. What's up, USA Forever? What's up, everyone on the JeffMAC Live YouTube channel? What's up, 2 Ruby Shoes? Happy Freedom Snugs. What's up, everyone on Twitch? What's up, everyone on Odyssey? What's up, Drew? What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. What's up, everyone on Rumble? My neck's broken. What's up, Karen? Happy freedom. What's up, everyone here on Facebook? Appreciate you guys watching. All right, so this is what we're getting into today. There is no White House today because it's Saturday and we don't usually see any lying or crying coming from them during the weekend. So we will be starting off today with a video that is titled Miles U. This is a tangible reminder of the real and consistent threat to the U.S., talking about Chinese spy balloon. Then we're going to be covering another video titled Will Chain on Chinese Spy Balloon. This was a message. Of course, also about the Chinese spy balloon, but that's it. That's it for the Chinese spy balloon. I know everybody's tired of hearing it. I know I'm tired of hearing it. Then we're going to be covering a video titled Breaking LAX is Installing Urinals in the Women's Bathrooms. So I'm not sure if this person recorded this video thinking that was real or if they were grifting, because there was people in the comments that had pointed out some observations that we will cover when we cover that video. Obviously, I'm really big about standing up for women's rights and stuff like that because I think shape-shifting predators is a bad thing. And so, yeah, but there's some strange signs in this video. The video is only like half a minute long, so we will discuss that when we get there. Then we're going to be covering a video titled Elon Musk found not guilty of fraud over a Tesla tweet. Then moving forward, we will be covering a video titled Chairman Jordan discusses first subpoena to Biden admin officials. Then our final video of the day is titled Lawsuit Against Kyle Rittenhouse over Kenosha shooting, greenlit by federal judge. If that goes to public trial, which it's going to trial, but I don't know if we'll all be able to watch it. But if we can, we will be covering that just for some good laughs and whatnot. And then we have 2 articles coming up. The first one is titled Revealed Newlywed Republican Councilwoman 30 was shot 7 times in the face as she drove her SUV outside of her New Jersey home. Then the second article is titled DeSantis files complaint against Orlando Philharmonic for hosting drag holiday event involving children of all ages. And that's how we will be wrapping up today. So let me get everything set up. Drop some ones, some coffees, what have you in the chat to let me know that you are ready to go while I get this video set up. What's up, Justin? Happy Freedom Dharma Agent. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Donna? All right, hooligans. I'm seeing the ones in the coffees. Let's get her started.
News alert, the Pentagon confirming a second Chinese spy balloon was hovering over Latin America. The original, as you know, was spotted in Montana, moved over Kansas, and is at this moment lingering over Missouri.
The fact is, we know that it's a surveillance balloon. We assess that it'll probably be over the United States for a few days. We have contacted the PRC. I'm not going to get into their reaction. I'd refer you to them for that. But we have clearly communicated that this balloon is violating U.S. airspace and international law, and that this is unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, he says. Secretary of State Blinken postponing his China trip planned for this weekend. Joining us now is Miles Yu, Hudson Institute Fellow and former China Policy Advisor to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Miles, thanks for being here.
Good morning, Pete.
Great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Is this something that happened and we didn't know about? I mean, what's the why here? Why would China be doing this?
Well, first of all, you're right. I think this fits into a pattern of Chinese massive surveillance over America. I mean, for those who are in the China business, you know this is just a pattern. China's infiltration of America defense and intelligence system has never stopped 24/7. I mean, they use all kinds of platforms, right? Cyber, space, big data, and now it's atmospheric. I mean, so this is a very tangible reminder of us that China threat is real and it's constant. So the reason why, I mean, I think it's more to do with the timing. China, every time, you know, this is Blinken's visit to China is a big deal for China because this will be the first time in about 4 years a Secretary of State of the United States visiting China. So traditionally, Chinese had this tactics of to use confrontation to extract cooperation. So every time there's some kind of summit between leaders, they'll normally do some kind of something cantankerous and cranky events like this to add their political bargaining chip. Of course, this time it backfired, and what will happen is China basically is going to look for some kind of scapegoat, like what happened in the 1990s when China's military intelligence chief meddled in the American election by supporting the Clinton and Gore campaigns, and then that guy was sacked, and then things keep repeating itself. So this is kind of fitting a well-established pattern.
So if you're saying maybe it is a miscalculation by the Communist Chinese, why wouldn't we shoot it down, take it down, make sure it can't hover over our airspace as it is right now? Why are we saying it's unacceptable but doing nothing?
This is also...
Did you guys see Alex Jones talking about it, saying if it's an EMP weapon, they just have to float a couple of these over the U.S. and then we'd have big problems?
Negotiation table with China on climate change and fentanyl, and those are good intentions. But China does not look at this as a opportunity to cooperate to solve the problems. They look at this as a way to increase their leverage. So I think if you set your
I'm not gonna lie, he sounds just like the dude on South Park.
As to avoid confrontation, and then you are open for manipulation by the Chinese. So they're doing something like this. And I think the best...
Thank you so much, MT Coiner, for continuing the membership program for 26 months. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you.
We'll bring it down. The best way is to capture it, to analyze it, see if as you say, it's a weather balloon. Short of that, you should immediately shoot it down. Not because of the violation of American airspace, but most importantly, this is an ongoing operational spying activity. The mission is ongoing. You should stop the mission immediately. It's like a cop going to a criminal scene. The first thing you do is, if that criminal act is continuing, you stop the action immediately right now. So that could, if we allow it to fly across America, the harm it could have done to the American security will be much, much better than just let it pass.
Yeah, it is an act. If it's actively gathering intelligence and also making us look impotent, letting it continue to float, it's mind-boggling. Miles Yu, thank you so much for
You're
breaking
welcome.
it down.
Speedy girl, did you see the explosion over Montana last night? I did. I was actually staring at Twitter when that video broke. I also watched CNN and Fox scramble over to that poor lady's Twitter feed to beg her for permission to use that video. I just retweeted it. I didn't go live like, oh, breaking news, because then all this other information come out saying that it could be fake and nobody else has footage of it and nobody knows what happened. Government released something saying they didn't shoot it down. So, I mean, other than watching the video where you can see the stream of smoke in the sky and then there's just a random flash behind this house, not sure. I did see it, but I don't have any extra information on it other than that. We'll keep an eye on it, definitely. What's up, Dark Star? Appreciate you coming back over to the live. Alright, hooligans, we're going to move forward. The next video we're going to cover is called Will Chain on China Spy Balloon. This was a message. This video is only, it's almost 6 minutes long. Just give me a second while I get it pulled up. Yeah, once I seen that explosion video over Montana circulating and then there was other information trying to be contradictory to it, I didn't want to spread that around too much. I wanted to get all the facts because it's really easy to see something happen that's factual and then you gather all these accessories and then you blur the lines so much that your perception of what is happening is inaccurate. And being in my position, it's not good to be inaccurate. You go from being informative to Alex Jones in a heartbeat. I like Alex Jones, but I don't like his reputation. I definitely don't want a reputation like that. Not the good stuff, the bad stuff is what I'm worried about. But regardless of that, moving forward, this is our final video about the China spy balloon, at least for today. So we'll just go ahead and get this over with. This is, like I said, 5 minutes, 55 seconds, just under 6 minutes.
Chinese spy balloon, and it's within the borders of our country. China says it drifted here by accident, and the U.S. says, no, it got here on purpose.
It's true. Let's go off the wall to learn more about this balloon and whether others might be a threat. So we're going to start first with the course of this balloon. Now, we love this graphic showing
McNeely, there's 3 of them. There's one, or there's 2 here, 1 in Latin America and 1 Canada.
December, and it made a beeline not for the continental United States, but a state in the Union in Alaska that made its way through Canada.
Various tracks have shown it coming over the Arctic Circle, but it always comes over the north like this, which I think there's 2 interesting things to point out about this. One, you said, why don't we shoot this thing down? And the argument has been, well, it could land on people, 400 square mile radius. These are some of the least populated areas here, including Alaska. You can imagine the Western Hemisphere.
Including Alaska.
But the secondary point is look at what's within the range. You would presume of something looking down from a spy balloon.
And and there's some local weather reports. We should get Rick to do this, projecting the potential path. By the way, China says it's a jet stream thing.
Robert, I don't know why you guys watch that Antifa.
This is remotely controlled, likely unmanned, so it's not like there's somebody in it. It's helium-filled, can be controlled, solar-powered for the surveillance systems. And the current track is, if you're checking across the country, right now likely in western Tennessee. So that's the likely path heading out, if we allow it to float over our country.
Take a look really quickly here at the end. This map largely shows us the same thing. Currently, by the way, reports are it's over Kansas City, Missouri right now as we speak. There's a photo last night. You can see it there. I mean, it's visible to the naked eye. You can see right there from a photo taken at ground level. in Kansas City.
Surveillance equipment here, and we'll talk about the size of this balloon in just a moment, because it's not small. But I think we could take care of it if we wanted to.
Okay, let's go back in history. Let's take a look at this.
I've seen a couple posts saying that it's over the Atlantic right now and that fighter jets are circling it or something, but I couldn't find an official article or statement. It's just speculation, I assume.
Commercial jet airliner flies about 35,000 feet. And Pete, normally they say these things fly at about 80 to 120,000 feet, which again raises the question of, okay, they're at 60,000 feet. It's more, to me, it looks more like a message.
They knew they'd be seen. They wanted to be seen at some level. By the way, hard to hide something of this size. The size of the actual balloon, they say 3 school bus sizes. Now, that's not the size of the payload or the surveillance equipment. So when the Pentagon says, look at all the wreckage that would be created if we shot it down, there's ways to puncture a balloon that doesn't break up the structural integrity of whatever the satellite portion of it. And then once it's on the ground, you can deal with it. And as you pointed out, Alaska, Canada, Montana, even now over the heartland of our country, there's plenty of places you could take this sucker.
All right, so you're talking about something that's not exactly subtle, not exactly hard to spot, and is really kind of ancient in technology. Take a look at the use of spy balloons throughout history. They date back to the Civil War, where balloons began to be used as surveillance. Got widespread, by the way, starting in World War I.
Yeah, I mean, a rudimentary technology. There's plenty of these right now. Drones you can use, high-level drones that are mostly remember the B-2 bombers going back and forth during the Cold War? I mean, and then, of course, satellites that we use at much higher level. If China wants to get a sense of what's happening at Air Force bases, they can right now with satellite technology. A balloon is meant to send a signal.
Our Pentagon is spending plans to spend $27 million.
Copious Hayes. We need solid snake. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Recently, the plan is to go to 27 amidst a massive defense budget. So again,
brought me back.
Investing in heavily in terms, I mean, $27 million is compared to what we're spending on anything else for surveillance purposes.
It's true, but balloons can give you a much better real-time picture because satellites are orbiting. We use balloons over bases in Iraq and Afghanistan. You'd float them up really high, and they'd give you a super detailed vision of the neighborhoods around you in real time that was 24/7. This is giving China a better picture, and I think probing and testing us. How long will this... Think about it. If you're waking up right now in Tennessee or Missouri, there's a communist Chinese balloon floating over your head. Right. Our government knows about it, can do something about it, and is choosing not to. So that's the question is, what happens now? Our last slide, which we'll go through briefly, is what's the reaction of this? Because it could be 60 more hours, Will, based on the trajectory of this balloon that the Chi-Com's just peeking at us.
Forward exits of the Atlantic Ocean. Here's Pentagon Press Secretary Ryder on other balloons that are being spotted.
That information is classified. I'm not able to provide it other than I can confirm that there have been other incidents where balloons did come close to or cross over U.S. territory.
There's been reports, by the way, Pete, of them showing up over Hawaii and in the Pacific.
That didn't sound like a bunch of nonsense.
China says it's a responsible country. Everything will be fine here. That's their statement. Don't worry. Nothing nefarious. Just charted off course. But it's going to stick around.
Sure seems like a trial balloon. Let's see how the Americans react to this violation, to this thing that's going to go noticed on purpose.
Or don't react.
Yeah.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
That's quite the last name. All right, just a moment, hooligans. What's up, Shelly babes? I think it's interesting because for a minute there, they were speculating that the flight path of the balloon was manipulated in real time. It's not just floating around by natural, origin. They were also saying that if it is being manipulated, is controlled somehow, that there's a good chance that what you're seeing is a live feed. Like that data that's being collected could be projected back to the host and not recorded, which makes the government seem even more silly by allowing it to just fly around and do whatever it's doing. Because if it is direct data collection and not just being stored on the balloon itself, kind of giving them what they want, and you're also telling them that it's okay. You're like, well, if you just want to do this, then we're not going to stop you. I don't know. On top of that, I've seen all of the conservatives on Twitter posting selfies with their M4 platform saying, oh, I heard someone needs to take care of this balloon issue. So many people. So many people. It's humorous, but at the same time, you couldn't shoot that thing out of the sky. Chances are you don't have a projectile that could reach that height, and if you do, the federal government would be at your house so quick, and they would say, oh, there was a gas leak, and you and your property just wouldn't exist anymore. But I thought that was kind of interesting, seeing that all over Twitter. I don't even know, 20-something people sitting there all posted up with their M4s. I heard we had a problem that needed to be solved. I do think that the government should have did something, but I also thought all those people using it as a gimmick was really funny. Anyways. So next we're going to be covering a very short video that is titled Breaking LAX is Installing Urinals in the Women's Bathrooms. This video is only a half a minute long. We're going to play it, but then we're going to kind of stop and I'm going to point out some things I noticed. That way we can get a clear idea of what exactly is happening in the video.
I'm going into
Alright, so this video is on Twitter, so that's why it's all skinny like that. We're going to play it through really quick, and like I said, we're going to rewind it. I'm going to point some things out.
the women's bathroom. Check this out. They're putting urinals in the women's bathroom. Women. Urinals. What the heck? Look at there. There's urinals over there too. Okay, so
Okay, so as you can see, woman walks in woman's bathroom, sees urinals, drywall, all that stuff going on, and it appears that they are installing urinals in the women's bathroom, and that's what's being depicted here. But then I seen people who are locals to this area saying that this area is going through renovations, and this is some of the things they pointed out.
I'm going into.
You can see that that blue sign there, which shows, you know, women's bathroom, is sitting on top of another sign.
The
You can see it even more clearly there. You can also see the one next to it is sitting on top of another sign.
women's bathroom. But check this out.
At this point, I'm pretty sure she committed a felony. You cannot bring cameras into the bathroom. Like, that is the hardest thing to remember when you have body cameras on. If you walk into the bathroom with a camera, you are committing a crime. You cannot do that. So, I don't know if this is self-incriminating to this individual or not. LAX, I'm pretty sure, is in California. Maybe they love this kind of stuff. I don't know. I know California is super weird. Maybe they prefer cameras in the bathroom, not sure. But here in Michigan, this is a huge no-no. You get caught with a camera in the bathroom, they're going to put you under the jail.
They're putting urinals in the women's bathroom. Women.
To me, these urinals don't look like a fresh install. So what I'm thinking potentially could be happening is that they're just converting this bathroom. They're walling off the urinals to, you know, change the bathroom over, and to prevent people from trying to use it, because that's how people are. You know, you let them wander around bored, especially at an airport where you're just waiting for your flight to potentially be delayed or even canceled. Somebody might try and just hop their hoo-ha right in here and see what they can do with it just to pass some time. You never know. So as a worker or even a custodian, or if that's even what they're still called, it's been quite a while since I've been in school or near a custodian. I could see why they would bag this up and wall this off and all this stuff. I think this was kind of taken out of context. And I just want to shine a little light on it because, one, I stand all the way up for women's rights and stuff like that because, again, I'm not into shape-shifting predators. And I think what's happening with all of that is absolutely wrong. But at the same time, if you see some fraudulent stuff, you can't just, look the other way because you agree with the insinuation of what's being said, even though it's false, which is what a lot of people do with red team, blue team. They will say, well, I'm blue team. I'm going to look the other way when they're doing dumb stuff, but I'm going to point out all the dumb stuff that red team does. And people on the red team do the same exact thing. They say, oh, the idiot blue team, blah, 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 blah. But then when you see the red team doing bad stuff, then everybody just looks the other way and acts like that stuff's not happening. So as much as I stand up for protecting women's rights and all of that stuff, I think that this video is a little false. And I don't know that the person who posted this was aware of that or if they genuinely thought something was going on here. But there's some clues that kind of tell me that this story is a little fudged. These lines are a little blurred here. I think there's a good possibility that this is simply just a renovation. All right, next we're going to cover a 4-minute video on Elon Musk found not guilty of fraud over Tesla tweet, which I think the fact they even brought him into court over this was totally silly.
A jury.
So, just side note on this. This is the BBC. Everybody crack your jokes really quick. Gotta do it to myself. That's what she said. So, I think it's funny that YouTube flagged this video as British news. There's a huge blue disclaimer below it, like, hey, don't take this very seriously. These are just Britons. I don't know why they did that. And I wonder if they're going to start doing that to Canada and stuff. Like, hey, don't take this too serious. They're just a Canadian. I don't know why that they felt that was necessary. I think they do the same thing to, it's either Reuters. Oh, what is the one that they say is Russian news? I don't think it's Reuters. It's like a big green R. Either way, for a long time, those were like good videos to watch to capture protests and riots and stuff like that going on live. But then right after all that stuff calmed down, they started getting these huge blue banners saying, hey, this is Russian news. So take it as a grain of salt. Like the words that matter only come from Americans that are elite. That's it. Because anybody, like if I could say the same thing that Fox News says, I'll get a flag. I'll say, oh, Fox said the same thing. YouTube will be like, well, that's too bad. Either way, let's get this started, hooligans.
In the United States has found Elon Musk not guilty of fraud over a tweet about Tesla. Mr. Musk was being sued.
I like that I call out red team and blue team and 30 people leave the chat immediately. The truth is hard.
Back into private ownership, something which never happened. Summing up, the lawyer for the shareholders said that the billionaire was not above the law, while Mr. Musk's attorney...
Rupley, thank you, Sleuthy TV.
...monster. James Clayton has been following the case.
But I'm curious, what do you guys think?
Elon Musk seemed nervous after he'd given evidence. How did I do, he asked the media outside. And to be fair, he had a lot to lose, potentially billions, in fact.
I think so. All right.
In terms of an individual tweet, this tweet had already been extremely costly. In August 2018, he tweeted out that he had funding secured to take Tesla private. That would effectively mean buying out Tesla shareholders, and many investors say they took Mr. Musk at his word, buying up Tesla stock. After that tweet, Tesla's share price rocketed, but soon it became clear that the deal was far from done. Tesla never went private, it's still a public company to this day. And when that became clear, the share price duly fell. Investors lost big money. The Securities Exchange Commission had already fined Elon Musk and Tesla $40 million for the tweet and stripped him of his position as chairman of the board. And in addition to that, many shareholders sued. For the last few weeks, this court in San Francisco has been hearing evidence. The question the jury had to decide was whether Elon Musk had knowingly tweeted out something that wasn't true.
Why'd they draw him like that?
What damages he should pay. Mr. Musk...
What's up, Impreza? Happy freedom.
Faith. And after deliberation, the jury concluded he did not have to compensate investor losses. Reed Cathrine is a lawyer who's an expert in securities fraud, who's interviewed Bernie Madoff and Elizabeth Holmes under oath.
When we looked at the case, I thought it was a slam dunk. I mean, he comes out, says funding secured. That's as concrete of a statement of taking a company private as there can be. Finding Elon Musk not guilty, I think, is a travesty, because it means that from now on, corporate executives can put out tweets, use social media, and skirt the line, be very thin on what's real and not real, as long as they can say that they believed it in their own minds.
Many legal experts thought that Mr. Musk would lose this case. They were wrong. It means that one of the world's richest people has just saved himself potentially billions of dollars. James Clayton, BBC News, San Francisco.
Well, Tony Nash is an economist and founder of Complete Intelligence, a finance-related AI platform. He says the verdict means CEOs can be less careful about what they say in public, and it makes the landscape more perilous for investors.
I think the voice of the CEO now can get more informal. And I think especially in tech companies, I think you'll see CEOs becoming very informal and making claims, even if they can justifiably say, well, I thought that this was going to happen, right? And this is what Musk's defense is. Well, I reasonably thought this was going to happen, but it didn't happen, so oh well. I think especially in tech, you'll see CEOs make claims that may or may not be true, but they're leading in that direction. So investors are just going to have to be much more wary. I think it does make the landscape pretty crazy going forward, where executives can say things publicly that they would be very careful of saying before. So if you're an investor, I think you now have to look at the formal declarations, regulatory filings to find out real information. Musk has just made this
guy sounds like he's crying.
Way of talking with people.
So what? 400. So what? Oh, it's so informal. My goodness. So what? So what? That's stupid. I don't like all that formal stuff anyways. How do you connect with your audience, your customers, and all that if you're just regurgitating formal language that has no kind of emphasis or feeling behind it? You just sound like a robot talking. And Elon Musk already sounds like a robot talking. He is super quirky and strange. The first cyborg among us. Nah, I don't know. Anyways. Next, we're going to be covering Chairman Jordan discusses first subpoena to Biden admin officials. This video is about 4.5 minutes long. I'm going to take a second to read through the chat really quick before we get this started.
Joining me now.
Impreza, it's amazing what these people's life problems are. Yeah. I don't like it that Elon Musk doesn't talk to me like a 6th grade school teacher. He needs to talk to me like that or I can't invest money. Hard life. It's real hard life. Hey, I appreciate you, Jared. What's up, Tina? Welcome to the live. Hey, I appreciate you, Brian. Happy Freedom, Shadow Patriot. Shadow, try flying the balloon over China and see what happens. Yeah, true story. I'm interested to see if Latin America shoots it down. I posted that on Twitter yesterday. I was like, if somebody else takes out the balloon before we do, I'm going to be so disappointed. What's up, Rockman Drums? Thanks for being here. Elon is not the savior that people think. Yeah, Elon's definitely in it for himself. Why wouldn't he be? I mean, I think anybody who would be considered the richest person in the world would most likely be in it for themselves. The most wealthy are not people that are giving or caring about others to the degree that people think. People act like he's Captain Planet. He's going to show up and swoop in and save everyone. I mean, people think the same thing about Trump, really, but no, we need to learn to think for ourselves and stuff. I think it's interesting to see his intelligence, his thoughts, his ideas, the way he articulates his expressions and how he feels inside. I think that stuff is really interesting because I pay a lot of attention to body language and how others experience their human experience. I think that is really interesting to me. I have no feeling that he's going to come in and save us. As much as I would like him to buy YouTube and fix all the problems over on YouTube, it's not like I think that's going to happen. Twitter's not that great. I mean, it is entertaining, but it's not great. You know, and there was lots of big promises for that. I think 2 or 3 occasions now I've seen Elon personally get hit with these downfalls of Twitter, and he's the one that owns it. So, no, I think that he's more entertaining than anything, and I'm just waiting for him to come out and be like, oh, the Chinese spy balloon? No, that's mine. I'm just trolling you guys. That's what I keep waiting for. Salty Ragu, have you seen my balloon? I lost it when I was leaving Chuck E. Cheese's. Come on, man. You need to come pick it up. It's floating around like old man Walter lost. Can't find the front door. Serum, fentanyl balloon. I don't know about all that. Maybe people were worried about it being other kinds of weapons. We'll just say that. Who knows? Who knows what it is? I still think it's a giant distraction. It's probably really easy to move stuff around while everybody's staring in the sky like turkeys, waiting to drown in the rain. It is what it is. I've seen a lot of hilarious videos though on TikTok. People going out there and like video recording themselves flipping it off and stuff like that. Like, take that, CCP. Us Americans, we're hilarious. We are hilarious. So, moving on to this video, as I said, it's about 4.5 minutes long. Chairman Jordan discusses first subpoena to the Biden admin officials.
Now, Chairman Jordan himself, Congressman, lay out what happens now and why.
For that tiny little nose, she sounds super nasally.
These are the 3 that had the.
I'm grabbing some coffee. Give me a moment.
Pointed out the memorandum ever being sent. So we want to get all those communications because we always think they used the school board's letter that came on September 29, 2021. That was the pretext to do what they wanted to do anyway, which was go spy on the American people, on parents showing up at school board meetings advocating for their son or daughter. So we want to get those communications. We've seen a few of them, but we haven't seen them all. We have sent countless letters time and time again, and we get nothing in response. So now we said we're going to issue a subpoena and see if we can get those documents to prove what we think actually happened, what a few pieces of few emails have kind of shown happened, that they were talking before they ever issued the memorandum, which treated moms and dads as domestic terrorists.
Now, your subpoena for Ray asked for all documents and communications sent or received by a number of individuals relating to the FBI investigations of the school board threats. You list several parents that were targeted by the Biden administration. Now, Congressman, what made the parents who were listed as significant?
One mom was simply in the group Moms for Liberty and had firearms at her house. If that makes you a target because some tattletale neighbor, some snitch neighbor reports you on Merrick Garland's snitch line, if that makes you a target and you get a visit by the FBI, for goodness sakes, that's half the people I represent in the 4th District of Ohio. That's how ridiculous this was. And remember,
crazy.
We've had now over dozens of FBI agents come to us as whistleblowers. The very first one The very first agent to step forward on this issue about a year ago, stepped forward and said, here's what they were doing. Here's the threat tag, the designation they put on moms and dads' names, and 25 parents got a visit from the FBI. Now, look, we don't want anyone threatening people at school board meetings. We don't want any school officials threatened by parents. But if there is something, the local law enforcement handle that. We don't need a federal snitch line where some busybody tattletale reports you because they don't like your politics, and then the FBI shows up at your house, which they did 25 times, 25 different parents. And we want to know how they put this together. Understand, they put this together, in my judgment, because they thought it was going to help Terry McAuliffe win the Virginia Virginia's governor's race. I actually think it backfired, because when Terry McAuliffe says we don't think moms and dads should be telling schools what to teach, I think there was a bunch of moms and dads in Virginia and said, wait a minute, we actually know our kid's name. We care about him a lot more than some bureaucrat in the government. And they showed up in a big way and made Glenn Youngkin governor of that state. So it backfired on him. But this is part of this whole effort to turn the government against the very people it's supposed to serve.
Well, and Congressman, I mean, you're a target. You were a target long before this. But now that you're chairman of Judiciary, you're really a target. So all these
She should have left the nostrils on her face. She sounds rough.
Jordan's general views and actions promote falsehoods, encourage attacks on legitimate institutions. Congressman, this is the way the left moves today.
Yeah.
You stand up for liberty or freedom, and you're a threat to democracy. Quickly, your response.
Yeah, no, that's the template. Look, the left tells a lie, big media reports a lie, big tech amplifies a lie. If you tell the truth, they attack you. They call you fascist, they call you racist, they come after you. You faced it time and time again, Laura. Republicans face it all the time. It's just the nature of the business. But that means we got to just step up even and be stronger and get the truth to the American people, because the first step in stopping this is always to put the facts on the table, to get the truth out there. Then we can look at whatever legislative solutions we need to do to stop this from happening in this great country.
Congressman, before you let you go, would you be in favor of a bill banning TikTok in the United States? You get a lot of bipartisan support for that. Would you be in favor of moving that forward quickly?
Sure. Yeah. Yes, I would. It needs to happen. I mean, we see this with this balloon. We see it with what the. I mean, remember the same people with this balloon saying, "Oh no, it's an accident." The Chinese, they're the ones who told us it didn't come from a lab. It was a bat to a pangolin to a hippopotamus to Joe Rogan. I mean, so we can't believe this. Of course, we need to ban this. The TikTok app.
We're looking forward to seeing that legislation, Congressman. Thank you.
9/11 America.
What do you guys think? You think TikTok should be banned? Press 1 if you think so. Press 2 if you think no. I don't know. I think that we shouldn't have Chinese spyware on our phones. I don't know if it's any worse than the government spying on us on our phones. I also don't like being limited. If there's apps out there, I kind of feel that we should have the right to them. But that's where you get into those sticky situations. Is it freedom if it's spyware? Probably not. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they have, reels and shorts and all that. That's to replace TikTok. That's because when TikTok came out, everybody moved to TikTok and started leaving long form video platforms. And so that's why they created shorts and stuff like that. So they could really do away with TikTok, and I think everybody would be fine. It's not like, they couldn't post it elsewhere. And really, TikTok is just over glorified Vine. And people don't even say that. I don't think people even remember Vine. Anyways. Happy for him, Sam. What's up, Lefty Lucy? I appreciate you. What's up, Kimberly? Impreza, you sipping on some blueberry hooligan berry drink? No, not today. That had me moving slow this morning. I was moving slow. It's good, but it's lethal. That's Kimberly. Jeff inspired me to get a smoothie with blueberries. That's awesome. Blueberries are so good for you. Most fruit is just sugar and water, but blueberries have a lot of antioxidants and stuff like that that's good for you. So I eat pretty much a handful of blueberries every single day, regardless of wine added to it. Some fine wine. There was people saying that my drink looked disgusting. I was like, how do you say grape juice, blueberry wine, and blueberries is disgusting? You must be a hateful person. Get that hate out of your heart. Happy freedom, damn it, Janet. Let's see, just reading through the chat really quick. No reason to rush. No reason to rush. It's Saturday. What's up, OGBT? Sup? Goldfish. I was a Periscope fan. People were telling me when I first started live streaming to go to Periscope, and then like right then it died, and so I never made it to Periscope. Shadow, do you drink your coffee black? I do. I do. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy or what. So like I have a lot of stomach problems, and because of that, I don't want to monitor everything that is put into food. Right? I don't want to have to pick up every little thing and be like, oh, has this got seasoning in it? Has it got citrus in it? Has it got blah, blah, blah? I just eat everything plain. Like, super plain. I go to McDonald's, get a chicken sandwich, chicken patty, bread. That's all it's on it. I get a cheeseburger, cheese, burger, bun. That's it. No ketchup, no mustard, no onions, no green peppers, no nothing. Nothing. Pizza's the same way. Pizza, cheese, maybe pepperoni, maybe, and then the crust. No sauce, no good stuff. I can't even have the bacon that comes on pizza because it's so greasy. It just turns my guts into lava. And then I started treating coffee the same way. I used to add a little coffee to my sugar when I was younger, and now I don't do anything. I don't want to take the time to put sugar in it, or to put creamer in it, or to put milk in it. I used to drink it with goat's milk, and now I can't get my hands on any. But yeah, so it's like black coffee, plain food, no candy, no sweets. I don't eat none of that. I don't know. I'm a strange one. SATIRE, the ones have it. The motion passes. We are banning TikTok. The hooligans have canceled TikTok. You notice that people don't get canceled anymore? There's just that lingering fear of being canceled, but it doesn't happen. It's kind of like the mass left has really died down, and now it just kind of lives in the minds of individuals that were scarred over the last 2 years. You don't see mass protest. You don't see 1,000 Antifa in the front yard of the federal building. You don't see TV shows being taken down, music being taken down. You see threats for it. It's been a while since I've seen people get canceled. Just my 2 cents on that. SATIRE, do you have a bagel with the coffee? I decline to answer that at this time. I have the right to remain silent, and I am using that right at this time. You hooligans and your bagels. One day I will bring you guys bagels. Damn White House. Drew, they shot it down. Yeah, we'll see. I heard that they were going to shoot it down. I think DirecTV had made a post on Twitter or something right before I went live saying that fighter jets were scrambling and were potentially going to take it down over the Atlantic. Apparently that just happened. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Gilded and stuff. That way, live as long as you're a part of all of that. Donna, same. Allergic reactions. Yeah, food allergies is hardcore. And our food is made to kill us at this point. Unless you're like really making your own food. And even then, you have to really read the packaging of what you buy. Like if you buy chicken strips, like boneless chicken breast, read the package. Because half the time it's filled with soy or pork, or it's like not even all chicken. It's supposed to be, but it's not. And you got to read all the little fine print and all of that. I don't know. It's hard just to eat food. That's so dumb. We have it so good here in America that the food companies have to poison our food just to keep the numbers down, because the possibility of sustaining life here is just so high that they have to create reasons to knock us down. We're spoiled. We're spoiled over here in America. All right, so this will be our final video before we move on to the 2 articles that I have. This video is titled Lawsuit Against Kyle Rittenhouse Over Kenosha Shooting Greenlit by Federal Judge. This video is about 5 minutes long. They are going to talk about possible upcoming trial and stuff. Well, it's not. There is a trial coming up. I just don't know the date. But when we find it, I plan on covering it live. We covered the Kyle trial the first time around. And so I think that this will almost be like a highlight reel. We're going to see those times. We're going to have some laughs. I wonder if they're going to bring Binger back. I want to see Judge Pickles. I don't think he'll be there, but still, we'll probably see video clips and stuff of it. Judge Pickles, he was the man. Okay, if you weren't there with us during the Kyle trial, you don't get brazen with Judge Pickles there. And it was a good time. So I think we will be covering this as long as it's broadcasted live whenever it's due to be on.
Welcome back to Law and Crime.
I'll read through the chat really quick and we're going to get this started. Ohio Kyle, I just heard that. I just heard that we shot the balloon down. I'll pull it up and see what's going on. I really don't care about staring at a balloon, but we'll see if there's anything good to watch about it. But first, we're going to watch this. Goldfish. Milk has titanium dioxide to make it look more white. Yeah, milk is not good for you. Milk from cows and stuff is not good for you. It is not. But everybody's free to do as they wish. Lucci, welcome to the live. They don't want anybody in Congress or Senate to be on TikTok. What I think is crazy is they don't ever bring up how it makes little girls want to not exist anymore. It was such a big deal that they went in front of Congress and they were like, here's, 100 different statements by parents who no longer have their daughter because they were trying to be on TikTok and they were seeing people doing the same thing as them but getting 1 million views, and they didn't know why they didn't get 1 million views, and they kept trying and it burned their self-esteem down to where they devalued themselves and they're no longer with us. Little girls 13, 14 years old that are having their minds ruined because of being overstimulated by social media. When I took psychology in college, they were talking about anything more than 2 hours of screen time causes dopamine addiction in your brain. And when you don't feel the success of achievement digitally, then you start to display the symptoms of withdrawal. Just as bad as if you were addicted to crack. Your brain goes through, basically rings the fire alarm when you start lacking this automatic dopamine drip in your brain that you're addicted to from scrolling on social media. It used to be more affected with people who play video games, because video games is just a series of objectives for you to complete. But as many people have either played or had kids that they watch play, it starts off being okay. Lots of fun, laughing, stuff like that. But then after 2 hours, they're screaming and throwing the controller and crying and being mad. That's because you're actually suffering from withdrawal. People are not supposed to spend more than 2 hours in front of a screen at a time without breaks. You will start displaying symptoms of withdrawal as if you're a drug addict. Now that we have TikTok and stuff where you're like, scroll, nope, I don't want to watch it. Scroll, this is okay. No, I'm bored now. Scroll. Takes your attention span down to 7 seconds. If you start to, people, I'm sure lots of people have felt this, where you're scrolling and then all of a sudden you look over and an hour and a half has passed and you're like, holy crap, I got to pull my head out of the phone and stuff. It's because of the dopamine addiction. And all of our devices are like that. Well, when you're a little kid and your parents are just like, oh, go stare at the phone for 6 hours and get out of my hair, the kids are becoming dopamine addicts. And they don't know it. The parents don't know it. Nobody knows it. The government doesn't warn us about it. There's no restrictions. And so you're kind of turning your kid into a monster. And with young girls who are trying to give themselves self-worth, build their self-esteem, they're seeing stuff happen on TikTok. They don't understand that it's an algorithm, that the system is built against you. Just being pretty and funny, and it's not enough. You have to post consistently. You have to pay attention to how long the videos are. You have to do a lot of gimmicks and stuff like that to get your numbers up and all this stuff. They don't understand. It's like running a business. And when you're a 13-year-old girl, what do you know about running a business? You don't know anything about it. Half the adults I talk to don't know anything about running a business. So it's built against you. And they don't know that. And they think it's because they suck. They're like, my numbers are down because I suck. And nobody's there to help them. And the parents are like, nah, get over it, blah, blah, blah. Over the weekend, they lose them. And it's such a big deal, they brought it in front of Congress, and that's what kicked a lot of this off. They were like, not only is it Chinese spyware, but it's really hurting our kids. And they don't want to talk about that because they get so much advertisement. Yahoo News and all those people, they go live there. So I doubt they will do away with it. Anything to kill us. That's how the government is. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents on the subject. We've covered it quite extensively, so if you don't believe me, you can just go research it. It's fine. Don't take my word for it. I encourage you to go research it and read. Don't just watch videos, but read. Read the documents. Read it. Most of the truth is in verbal form, written on a page somewhere. It's not done in video. Everything in video is an interpretation of another individual displaying what is inside their head to you with their choice of words and their opinion and emotion and feelings on it. And then that's all dictated by blue team, red team, and how they grew up. So I encourage you to go read it for yourself. Let's get her started, hooligans.
I'm Daily. We end our show with new developments in Wisconsin. A federal judge ruled that a wrongful death lawsuit against Kyle Rittenhouse can move forward. Rittenhouse stood trial in November of 2021 for killing 2 people and wounding a 3rd during civil unrest in Kenosha. The jury acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse, who was just 17 at the time he opened fire with an AR-15. That same year, John Huber filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Rittenhouse, city officials, and members of law enforcement. His son, 26-year-old Anthony Huber, was killed while attempting to disarm Rittenhouse with a skateboard. Huber claims officers allowed the dangerous situation to unfold, violating his son's constitutional rights and resulting in his death. He also believes Rittenhouse conspired with law enforcement to intentionally harm protesters. Huber is seeking unspecified damages. During trial, Rittenhouse was questioned about the circumstances around Huber's death. Here's what he had to say.
As I'm running past Mr. Huber, he's holding a skateboard like a baseball bat, and he swings it down, and I block it with my arm, trying to prevent it from hitting me, but it still hits me in the neck. I get lightheaded, I almost pass out, and I stumble and hit the ground. Mr. Huber, immediately after I'm kicked in the face, runs up as I'm sitting up. He strikes me in the neck with his skateboard a 2nd time.
Then what happened?
He grabs my gun, and I can feel it pulling away from me, and I can feel the strap starting to come off my body.
And what do you do then?
I fire 1 shot.
When you shoot him, he's got his skateboard in his hand?
Chicken hawk banger.
You didn't see any gun in his hand, correct?
No.
You didn't see a knife?
No.
You didn't see a bat?
No.
You didn't see a club?
No.
All he's got is the skateboard, right?
That he's hit me in the head with twice, yes.
Okay. And you intended to pull the trigger at that moment with your AR-15, correct?
Yes.
The end of that gun was pointed directly at his chest when you pulled the trigger, correct?
Yes.
And you knew that, correct?
Yes.
See.
You still pulled the trigger, didn't you?
Yes.
Bernardo Rittenhouse won the criminal case. Does that mean he'll likely prevail in a wrongful death lawsuit as well?
Not at all, Brian, because you got to think when it comes to a civil lawsuit, the burden is completely different. At the time of trial, of a criminal trial, the burden was beyond a reasonable doubt, and the prosecution had to disprove that he didn't act in self-defense. When it comes to a civil lawsuit, the burden is more likely than not preponderance of the evidence, 51% against 49%. And you're dealing with the same jury pool. But we also got to take into account that Kyle Rittenhouse testified, and his testimony at the criminal trial will be used at the time of this civil trial. So we'll just have to wait and see. But he has much more hurdles to jump over in terms of the civil trial.
All right, Terry,
They love to show him crying.
lawsuits by others who were killed and injured?
Yeah, I think we could see similar lawsuits. We know that at least one other person was killed, one other person was injured. I think here for a wrongful death action, though, what they're going to have to establish is there was some sort of reckless or negligent act that it caused. It's that causal connection. It caused the death of the individual, and the fact that they are related to the individual, which they already have if they bring a wrongful death action. So I think as against, Kyle Rittenhouse, I think they're going to be able to prove that there is that causal connection, but we know that the lawsuit also sued the city and other officials. In that instance, I think it might be a little bit difficult to have that causal connection. But, if you sue Kyle Rittenhouse, there's no deep pockets. So I am certain that the family established this lawsuit because they wanted to get some sort of civil, money in this event. And it obviously is not going to bring back their son or, their brother or whatever the relationship is. But it is going to make it a little bit easier for them to move on, and it gives them compensation for whatever the rest of his life might have given them. And so I think that's why they decided to also sue these other entities. But it might be very difficult under these circumstances because what kind of duty did they have? How would they have known that this was going to occur?
Yeah, I'm interested in that connection as well and how the self-defense applies in the civil. Hey, I'm a criminal attorney, so we'll see how it plays out. Well, thank you both, and thank you for joining us here on Law and Crime Daily. We'll see you next time as we discuss.
Well, I think it's just going to be funny. They're not going to get Kyle Rittenhouse on that. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. They're just going to probably play all the videos from the first trial and be like, well, there's the defense. They might get away with suing the city, suing the police department and stuff like that for negligence because they didn't solve the problem. They just didn't solve the problem. They let the protesters be there. They did try to corral them a little bit. They didn't, I can't think of what it's called. They didn't surround them. They didn't kettle them. They just kind of herded them a little bit by bringing in those Bearcats or whatever they're called, those SWAT vehicles, those armored vehicles and stuff, and just try to push the protesters down the street and navigate them to specific areas. But they didn't stop anyone. There was like no arrests happening. Kyle was like the only person to be arrested. FBI was there. How come they're not suing the FBI? That's what they should be doing. They should be suing the FBI because the FBI was there. Nobody knew about it. Nobody did anything about it. They just let the city burn down, and you had to have patriots like Kyle come in and handle some self-defense there. And their big argument is, property is not worth more than a life. Absolutely. But if somebody comes and smacks me in the head with a skateboard 2 times, he's getting tuned up. That's all there is to it. That's self-defense. You have the right to pursue health and happiness, which means that you have the right to be alive. That makes me think about the poor infants. Anyways, yeah. So I think they have no chance against Kyle. They might be able to get away with the police department. They should be suing the feds, absolutely, because nobody even knew they were there until the Kyle trial happened, and they tried to provide evidence to work against Kyle. Here's some drone footage showing Kyle just loving America, and we're going to try and condemn him for it. And then they were like, well, if you zoom in, there's pixels, and pixels are artificial intelligent fillers, and then that's changing evidence, so we can't use that. And then after that happened, boop, he was off the hook. So they should be suing feds and stuff like that. We're just going to laugh. We're going to have a good laugh when that goes on. So look forward to that, because I sure am. Damon Walker, just like psychology, it's all interpretation. Absolutely. Everybody's walking their own path. We're just shoulder to shoulder while we're doing it. Everyone's standing from their own point of view. Life itself is just perception. What's up, DK? They're just trying to financially ruin Kyle Rittenhouse. I think so too. I mean, even the news people said the same thing. Well, it's a good target for money. Try and get some money. Go after Kyle. They already called him a racist. I heard that he was going to try and sue the White House for defamation of character because old man Walter went out there and called him a white supremacist or whatever, and then didn't say anything after he was proven innocent. Like, there was no apology or anything like that. I don't know what happened with that, but hopefully Kyle got some success out of that. Ohio Kyle, I want to know why the FBI drone was there. Oh, you know, monitoring human behavior, keeping an eye on us. I don't know. Sure the lizard people told him to do it. Snooks, yep. I do have the link. Although I don't see anything. I have the live feed pulled up from Fox News. They shot the balloon down or something, but really you're just kind of looking at the water at this time. So I'll keep an eye on that. If anything is visible, we'll pull it up really quick. Otherwise, we're going to move forward to this article. I have 2 articles actually. So give me a second while I post the links in the chat so you guys can follow along with me. Sam, we watched Kyle do work right here. Yes, we did. We covered the whole thing from the protest to poor dude screaming medic with his arm dangling by the tendons after Kyle put in some work. And then a year later, covering the trial itself. And here we are with another trial. We're just watching history happen right before our eyes. Our eyes. Good Lord. Talking like old man Walter, slurring. Joe, video of Chinese spy balloon apparently being shot down near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yeah, links don't work on Rumble. I don't know why, but they don't. If you post it in the chat, it doesn't work. But I do have a video pulled up that I am monitoring. But as of right now, it's just a picture of water in the beach. I don't really see anything else. Anthony, knocking us and our pets down. Do your research, hooligans. Yeah, I seen your message about that. Klaus Daniels, he doesn't get any Purina. I'm not sure what it is. I get his food comes from Tractor Supply. He gets the good stuff. He gets the good stuff. It was like $40 a bag of food for him. All right, hooligans. So the link that I put in the chat, hopefully, will take you to this article titled "Revealed Newlywed Republican Councilwoman 30 was shot 7 times in the face as she drove her SUV outside of her New Jersey home." So I've been waiting to find information on this because no one's talking about it. This happened a few days ago, and some speculated it was a hit, that this person was actually targeted as a hit, although the article says that it's personal and not an attack. But I feel, as we read through this, keep this in mind, their only basis to say that this is personal and not a planned hit is the fact that she was shot so many times. Generally, that's like an act of passion and stuff like that. But if that's the only requirement, then don't you think that hitmen would be smart enough to know that? And, oh, if I just empty the clip into them, they're going to assume it's personal. I don't know. That's what I thought while I read the entire article. But either way, moving forward, the article starts off by saying, as FBI investigates personal attack, FBI agents are now investigating after the Republican councilwoman was shot in the face 7 times while driving her SUV home. As Governor Phil Murphy said, it was not politically motivated. Then the article goes on to say, Eunice Dwumfor, I hope that's correct because she's not with us anymore, not trying to disgrace that person in any kind of way, 30 years old, was shot outside of her home in Saverville, New Jersey on Wednesday night, with friends calling it a targeted a targeted and personal attack, which sounds contradicting to me, but that's okay. That's according to her friends. The mother of one of those friends was, wait a minute, what? According to the friends, the mother of one was shot 7 times in the face and then 7 times in the body. She crashed her SUV with her slumped over the wheel. With horrified neighbors hearing multiple gunshots and then a crash, Middlesex County, what a name, prosecutor's office and Saverville something police are leading the investigation, with the FBI now becoming involved in the investigation. The article then says, friend and pastor Neila Rodriguez told the Ingram Angle that she believes that the incident was a personal attack. She added, we believe it was very personal because she was shot 7 times in the face and then another 7 times hitting her everywhere else. So for somebody to get so close to somebody and then shoot them so many times, it has to be personal. The Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office said that the investigation into this individual's death is ongoing and officials have not released a motive or any information about a suspect. There have been no arrests in the case, with officials seen searching a wooded area near the home after witnesses claim they saw a man run off in that direction after the shooting. Police received the tip that the murder weapon had been dumped in the area, so brought out police dogs to search. The article then mentions the mayor said that she believes that the law enforcement will bring a fast-moving investigation to a quick and successful conclusion and look forward to the identification, arrest, and successful prosecution of the person responsible. Then the article wraps up by saying he told WNYC that there was little known about the motivation for the incident, which does not appear to be related to her potion as an election councilwoman in Sayreville. And that's how the article wraps up. But the whole time reading that, the way that it's worded, they have no information on the individual that did it. They have no information of why they would do it or where they are. There's no arrest. There's basically no evidence found. But it was personal. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Generally, when somebody is attacked personally, there's usually obvious motivation, especially nowadays with social media. You make someone mad, they cannot wait to get online and tell everybody about it. Oh, this person said this and it just ticked me off so bad, and they post it all across the board. And if it continues to happen, that's usually the individual that reaches out and then committed a crime. So to say, oh, this is personally motivated, it's a personal attack, but we don't see where the motivation is. So all they have to go off is so many rounds put into someone. That's flimsy. That is super flimsy. I don't know much else about the situation other than this article and what I've seen people speculate, but I thought we would cover it since I stumbled across it and I was pretty interested in the article, especially because the news isn't talking about it. That's the other weird thing. If this person was slain out of personal reasons, why isn't this put all over the news? How do you know it wasn't white supremacy? And some of that white rage spilling out into the street. Don't they want to capitalize on that? How come this isn't being talked about? Why is this kicked under the rug? So a lot of suspicious stuff surrounding this article, so I thought we would shine some light on it. So again, watching the live, I'll just show you guys, here you go. Here's the live for the Chinese spy balloon that everybody's talking about. Now, I'm sure it was more entertaining before I got the link, but this is it. So trust me when I say you are not missing much. I am keeping my eye on it just in case they show the technology or whatever they're recovering. I mean, honestly, this angle is probably on purpose to not show them retrieve whatever it is because they don't know what it is. But either way, I'm keeping my eye on it. If I see anything interesting, I will just abruptly throw this on the screen. so we're moving to our last article here. It is titled DeSantis Files Complaint Against Orlando Philharmonic for Hosting Drag Holiday Event. So give me a second. I'm going to drop these links in the chat so you guys can follow along with me, and we will be moving our way through it. Awesome. Serum just sent me a link. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to watch the balloon be shot out of the sky. We're gonna watch that really quick before we get on the article here. Like I said, this should be a video of the spy balloon being shot out of the sky.
Oh damn!
Just blew my monetization.
They shot, it's going at it right now. Oh shit! It's hit. It's going down. What?
Commentary is a little lacking. Well, that's that. Either way, big shout out to you, Serum. Everyone say thank you, Serum, because we were not gonna be able to cover that on the live. I don't have time to be searching things, so I appreciate you, Serum. Thank you for sending me that. As I mentioned earlier, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter and Gilded and all that stuff to stay up to date with all the crazy stuff that happens while we're not live, because we stay up to date with everything going on. All right, moving forward. This is our final article of the day, titled DeSantis Files Complaint Against Orlando Philharmonic for Hosting Drag Holiday Event. All the links I sent you should bring you right here so you can follow along with me. The article starts off by saying, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, his administration has filed a complaint against an Orlando foundation over a drag holiday event it hosted in which minors were allowed to attend the show. The complaint, which was filed Friday, alleges that the Orlando Philharmonic Plaza Foundation violated state law and allowing for a person to commit lewd and lascivious exhibition. I can't pronounce it, but you know what I'm saying. In the presence of an individual who is less than 16 years old, and states that the foundation hosted a show called A Drag Queen Christmas on December 28th and sold alcoholic drinks during it. The complaint, which the Florida-based news outlet, the Floridian, published a copy of it online, said that the foundation used Christmas theme promotional materials that did not give advance notice of the explicit nature of the show's contents. The materials said all ages were welcome. The article then goes on to say, the state's Division of Alcoholic Beverages and Tobacco under the Department of Business and Professional Regulation filed the complaint in its capacity as a regulator of alcohol. It is attempting to revoke the foundation's liquor license for 6 alleged counts of violating Florida's statutes. The complaint states that the division sent the foundation a letter ahead of the show saying that sexually explicit drag show performances constitutes public nuisances. Thank you, brain, for working. Nuisances, lewd activity, and disorderly conduct when minors are in attendance. And the foundation's license could be subject to penalties if it did not ensure minors could not attend the event. The division alleges that the foundation responded to the letter by placing a notice at the attendance of the venue that said the show might not be appropriate for people under 18, but it is not restricted. It said children appearing to be younger than 6 happened to attend the show. DeSantis previously filed a complaint against a Miami restaurant in July, alleging that it violated public decency law in allowing children to attend a drag show. He has been among the most prominent voices criticizing children being able to attend these shows, accusing them of trying to expose minors to explicit content. We'll say that. I don't want to say what it says. It's not good. It's not good. The wording is not good, especially for saying it on YouTube. But I provide you guys the link so you can go read it for yourself. All of these articles are not read in their entirety. It's kind of like a bullet point thing because I encourage you guys to go read it for yourself. But you got the idea. As I've been very clear, I stand all the way up on this stuff. Shape-shifting predators are not welcome here. Thank you so much, Hilarious, for the $20 donation on YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you. They say RIP monetization. I know. And for the video of being a balloon shot out of the sky, I didn't expect so much swearing, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. So, what's up, TK? What's up, Armor? Totally forgot to make the video. I will do that today because I don't have anything else going on today. And I want everybody to go check your stuff out because you're awesome. Yeah, Jeffro, we got to protect the kids. Obviously, no one else is going to do it. And it's sad to see parents doing this stuff, bringing their children to these shows. It's like just propping them up on a platter. Here, victimize my kid. What is wrong with people? We can't spank our kids anymore. That's what's wrong. And they're all adults now, and they're Antifa or shapeshifters or whatever. And here we are. Look how great that's going. Being politically correct is really doing us a lot of good. Lots of good. I think everybody just needs to watch some South Park. That's what I've been doing because that's the only thing I feel is normal. Is just watch South Park and hear, especially the old ones, the first couple seasons where it's really vulgar. It's nice. It feels really normal. It's the only kind of normality I have in my life anymore, honestly. That and Cat Daniels. This eccentric as he is, he's quite the companion. So yes, either way, that is that for today's show of Coffee with Hooligans. I'm going to give you guys my spiel. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're going to wrap this up. So, I need everyone to go to jeffmaclive.com. You can find the link in the description. The homepage has all of my links, and the website has its own community and private viewing area to watch the live completely uncensored. So definitely check it out for those reasons. But you can also find the link to join Gilded for free. Gilded is currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live every time we go live. If there's any important updates or anything going on, I will also send you notifications for all of that. There is a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. There's a ton of hooligans in there to hang out with all day, every day. So make sure you join Gilded. Also on the JeffMac Live homepage, you can find links to the merch store if you would like to grab some merch. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black. But if you find something you like, click on that item to see all the colors that it comes in. Shout out to the individual that bought 2 JeffMac shirts yesterday. You are awesome. Got a blue one and a black one. Appreciate it. So yeah, definitely check out the merch. Also on the JeffMac Live homepage, you can find links for PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, and Buy Me a Coffee if you would like to support what I do. And big shout out to everyone that uses those links. Unfortunately, I don't always get to shout you guys out because I, can't really check my phone during the live. I also don't want to put your personal, actual name out there and stuff like that. But I want you guys to know that I do see this, and I do appreciate you guys so much for all those donations through those third-party platforms. Also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me stuff. It's really simple to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent to me without having to seek information or jump through hoops or anything like that. I'm pretty much continuously adding things to that list every day. Most of it is things that I need that will help the channel grow, or even help us build new channels and stuff for other things that I'm trying to do. Yesterday I posted a video on how to make a blueberry beverage that I just made up one day, and I enjoy it, and that's the closest thing we have made so far as cooking with hooligans, because we want to do a cooking show, and I wanted to see how that did, and it's doing okay. But I'm going to try and do more content like that. Either way, I try to put all the items on the wish list if you guys would like to help support the show and stuff like that. Then finally, on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find all the links for the membership programs. We have memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. So that's my spiel. It's time for the pledge, hooligans. Cheeky chops, you crack me up. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans. Well, that's that. That's all we have for today. Tomorrow is Sunday, which is my day off, because you got to take time to recharge your batteries. Now, tomorrow may not be your day off, but when it is your day off, I highly suggest you take the time to recharge your batteries. Go find something you love to do. It doesn't matter how simple or stupid other people think it is. Find something that you really enjoy and make sure you do it. Try and do it every day if you can. But when you realize that you're really experiencing happiness, you need to jot that down, either on a sticky note, in your phone, or in your brain, however you can remember it. So when you have time off, you can go play. Because the opposite of work is play. If you rest, you'll notice that when you go back to work, you don't want to go back to work. You still don't have any energy to go back to work. You don't have energy to deal with those individuals that you just can't stand. And you don't know why. You laid in bed all day, you watched Netflix, you ate candy, and where's your energy at? It's because you didn't play. And society doesn't teach us this. So, give it a try. What's it going to hurt? Take your dog for a walk. Take your cat for a walk. Build something out of Legos. Laugh with a friend. Go have some coffee. Sometimes I'll go get me a $4 fancy coffee from this place called The Bookmark in Ludington, because I enjoy it, and it makes me happy. Yeah, it costs $4, and I don't always have $4 to give to it, but when I do, I'll go do it and make an event out of it. Go eat a cheeseburger. Make a cheeseburger with your kid. Do whatever it is that makes you happy, but play, because the opposite of work is play. It is not rest. You'll live a lot longer if you're happier, because you'll never be wealthier than being happy. So, that's my dad talk for you guys. Take care of yourself. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. And that's that. So, big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.